Welcome. Thank you for tuning in to the Liquid Wisdom Podcast, where we take the fear out of everyday life, one episode at a time. So if you're not scared, let's jump into the deep end right now, and please, don't pee in the pool. Man, can you believe it? Can you believe this? This is a legendary moment happening right now. I have my own podcast, and thank you so much for being here for this first episode. Thank you so very much. You know, let's just skip the pleasantries and just jump right into like, why did you want to start a podcast, Liquid? Well, I want to help people, plain and simple, and this is one of the most effective ways to do so. You know, okay, so the goal is to take the fear out of everyday life. I say that a lot because life is programmed to instill fear in us. I mean, look, think about it. You have the news with everything going on. It's a very serious situation with the current events happening. But think about how scared you are. You go to places for like the news for information, to be more informed and be more aware of what's going on around you. But then you walk away with this crippling anxiety and this fear that overtakes you. Is that really what it's meant to be? Ads that tell you, oh, this is bad for you. This isn't good for you anymore. Don't try this. You don't know which way to go, what direction to follow. Movies, TV, and even friends and family. There's fear all around. So we're just going to take a step back. We're going to look at everything and just remove all of the fear and retain the knowledge. That's what this is for. Okay? We must overcome fear with a few things. Faith. That is the first thing. Now, you can have faith in yourself, or if you want to have faith in higher power, more power to you. But it's one of the most beautiful things we can do as human beings is to believe in something that you can't readily see. It allows you to find light in darkness. It helps you find hope in the things that can overtake you with sorrow or sadness. The second thing that you can use to weaponize against all this anxiety and fear out here is confidence. By removing, one of the ways you can have more confidence is by removing the toxic influences in your life. And that could be, as I stated before, it could be your friends, it could be family, it could be certain influences that you follow on your favorite social media websites. It could be a myriad of things. If all you see is someone tearing down the other person or someone constantly driving down what makes you happy in life, how do you ever hope to build anything from that? So you got to get rid of it. You got to go. They have to go. Toxicity isn't where you want to dwell. You want to dwell with people and feelings that help build you up. It's very important. Very important. And the last thing is reassurance. The thing is, once you replace the toxicity, the next step is by filling that void with something that's positive and influential and proactive for you. You don't want to just leave the toxicity there. Like, you take the toxicity out, you don't want to just leave it there and be a void. You want something to build positivity within yourself, your psyche, and the people who matter the most to you. That's a missing step that a lot of people seem to not take seriously. Because it's like the question that a lot of people ask is like, well, how do you combat fear? Well, there's a few ways. And now, mind you, these aren't the scriptures for how to combat it. It's just a few little simple rules that you can use. Everyone can find something they can take out of it. One of the ways you can use is using your own life lessons, not as a deterrent to your goal, but as lessons for the future. And one of the ways you can use your own life lessons is, okay, everyone has gone through something at some point in their life. It is, dare I say, quite impossible to go through life and not have dealt with a trial of some sort. Myself, I've dealt with a lot of darkness in my life. However, I chose not to let my trials and tribulations affect the way I view the world. I instead chose to take the things that I've experienced, the pain, the loss, the failure, and I decided to use it as a way to help others. That's why we're here. That's why I'm here right now talking to you, whomever you are. And you can do the exact same thing, even if you help one person in your daily life, then you can call that a job well done, because you never know that smile or that story or that knowledge that you impart upon them, it could very well change the direction of their life, and they then could go on and be a positive impact to someone else. So, and all it takes is a little bit of effort. It's a little bit of confidence, a little bit of reassurance, all the things I mentioned before. And as you go along this journey with me, I will be definitely revealing more of my personal stories of overcoming the things in life that allow me to be here today. And I'm very grateful. And here's the second thing. I might get in trouble saying this, but F the haters. I said it, F them. You have to understand that there will always be people who want to tear you down for no reason whatsoever, just because you exist. And that's okay. Because you got to ask yourself, well, where are they in their life? What are they doing? If they spend so much time trying to find something about you and nitpick or try and poke and pry and find a chink in the armor and try and tear you down, when you look like, wow, all this energy they're spending, all these flavors in the world, you choose to be salty towards me. They could easily take that same energy and apply it to their life and build and be a positive impact. But they choose to come after you. So it can be cliche to say, don't let it get to you. But just understand that if there is someone in your path that is trying to be a deterrent towards you, then that means that your life and the purpose that you found in yourself is a natural order of things, because that is just an obstacle, nothing more. You also have to remember that it is usually those who aren't doing much that want to destroy what little faith you have in yourself. You have to remember that. And since we are talking about failure so much, I just want to remind you guys that failure is a part of the success. There's no greater appreciation for success than the times you failed in order to get there. Failure is inevitable. It's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay. It's a part of your growth. Because every time you fall, every time you have a setback, it just makes the comeback even stronger. You ever heard the old cliche saying, fall down 7, get up 8? Sure, it's cliche, but it's real. It's real. You don't stay in failure forever. You take a lesson from that failure and then you apply it to yourself, because you're gaining wisdom, you're gaining knowledge, you're gaining experience. It's okay. Any truly successful person will tell you that there was a long road of failure before they arrived at the destination of success. Anyone, you can ask anyone. You can ask your local doctor, your favorite celebrity, content creator, social media influencer, whomever. They will tell you. The real ones will definitely tell you, yeah, I failed a lot before I got here. They will. If you find someone that says, oh yeah, I was successful and didn't have to deal with any sort of trials or tribulation, they're lying. They're lying. I can assure you of that. I mean, there's so many successful people today that you can draw inspiration from, whether it be in sports or TV network executives, your favorite fast food restaurant. You know, we don't go through all of them. And we're not going to go through all. I'm just going to give you a couple of notable people, something that everyone under the sound of my voice can relate to in some form or way. So let's just pull one. Let's say from sports. Who can we think? Oh, okay, Michael Jordan. Everyone who is or isn't a sports fan or a basketball fan, whatever your fans is, everyone knows Michael Jordan. Whether it's from the player, the one movie he did, or even the Jordan crying meme. Everyone knows who Michael Jordan is. Did you know that Michael Jordan was famously cut from his high school basketball team? Michael Jordan, could you think about that for a second? One of the greatest basketball players of all time was cut from his high school basketball team. That is incredible. Multiple time MVP winner, 2 3-peats, could have gotten 8 rings if he didn't retire for those 2 years. 6-time champion, Hall of Famer, was cut from his high school basketball team. Now, imagine if Michael Jordan, that day he was cut from the team, decided to walk away, decided to never pick up a basketball again. Who knows what his life would have been. Don't let that happen to you. Just because there's something you may be passionate about in life, takes shape in front of you and someone or something says, no, you can't do it. Don't let that define you. You push on forward from that. Let's see. Let's go. Oh, okay. Stephen King, right? I'm sure all of you have seen one of his movies, whether it be Carrie or It, the newest one that came out a couple of years ago and last year. Christine, for all of you niche Stephen King fans out there, that man has written over 60 novels. 60. I used to get upset writing an 8-page, 10-page essay during my time in school. And imagine writing 60 novels. That is incredible. But his first novel, Carrie, the aforementioned Carrie that I spoke of earlier, was rejected 30 times. 30. Not once, not twice, or 10, but 30. Before it was published. That is incredible. That is persistence beyond typical human capacity. And that is amazing. He didn't give up on his dream. And now it's almost every 2.5, 3 years, a new movie's coming out reflecting his work. It's incredible. A long life of success, all because he chose not to give up. For all my food lovers out there, foodies if you call it, Colonel Harland Sanders was turned down 1,009 times. I'm not making this up. 1,009 times before a restaurant agreed to use his now famous KFC recipe. Can you imagine being turned down 1,009 times? It is unreal the amount of rejection these individuals have faced. However, the common thread through all of them, they didn't give up. They pushed towards their dream. So if these individuals can push forward, so can you. Now, this next person I'm going to mention, mixed bag. You know, some people feel something towards her, some may not. But Oprah Winfrey, that's right, Oprah Winfrey, was fired from her first news anchor job. I believe it was in Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Now, my fact checkers out there, if you reach out to me on Twitter, feel free to correct me. But I'm going to say it's Chicago. She was fired. And that woman went on to own her own network. And I believe she's a billionaire. So imagine that. I know that news network is kicking themselves to this day. Like, man, we let Oprah go. What were we thinking? But hey, you're not defined by your failures. You push forward to your successes. Now, it's no secret. I live in North Carolina. And this is the state where the first flight took place, right? Because this is what we're doing. We're soaring towards our dreams, right? We're flying amongst other dreamers. We're flying above the toxicity, and we're flying towards what makes us happy, our passion, our purpose, right? So this is a beautiful thread of irony. The Wright brothers, right here in North Carolina, had several airplane prototypes that failed before they were able to fly. Several. Now, this is around, the early 1900s after the Industrial Revolution. was taking place were looking to innovate and find more efficient ways to travel. These two brothers built the prototype that revolutionized the way we travel today. I don't think there's anyone who has a passport that hasn't gotten on a plane and said, wow, look how fast I'm getting from one place to another. So many businessmen and women fly all around the world. And who knows how we would have been able to travel if it wasn't for these two gentlemen. Despite any and all obstacles, failed prototypes, still decided to, hey, we're going to do this. So if all these different people can influence the lives of millions of people, some they may never have met and others yet to see, you can look at these stories and you can draw something from them. Now, I introduced different people from different facets, your athletes, your inventors, your media execs, your fast food empire creators. There's something special in all of us. Don't ever think for a moment that you're not capable of having your story amongst the list of all these individuals, because what you are is special. What you are is great. Now, this podcast was my dream. I wanted, despite the circumstances, the setbacks, the hurdles I had to overcome, I wanted to do this so bad. And I had the support of such amazing people that kept pushing me and encouraging me to come forth and do this. And I don't regret a single moment. The fairies included, because I know that they're there to help me grow. Even as I continue to do more podcast episodes down the road, I'm going to come across some things, and I'm okay with that. I'm still going to keep pushing forward, because I know that despite my failures, my success is meant for me if I push through. And it can be for you too. Now, this podcast is going to touch on several aspects of life. We're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about relationships, career tips, world events, etc. And all this is to leave you, the listener, better informed and less fearful to make a bold proclamation of a positive impact on the world around you and fulfill your dreams. So that's really all I got to say for this episode. And thank you so much for being a part of this journey. For those of you that want to continue, for those of you that out of curiosity clicked on this and said, hey, let's just check this out. Hope you got something from it too. If there's anything that you've taken from this today, please don't give up on yourself. Surround yourself by positive people that want to create, remove the toxicity from your life. Even if you get turned down 30 times or 1,009 times or get fired from a job because they didn't appreciate your talents, that means you continue to keep pushing forward. Your dream doesn't stop because one person didn't believe in you. Because the opposite is true as well. For every 10 people that say no, all it takes is one person to say yes, and your life can change in a blink of an eye. Thank you so very much for listening to this week's podcast. I'll see you next time. All right. Pool hours are over. Don't want you catching the cramp. Tell you what, come on back for a swim soon and we can catch up on life. In the meantime, check me out on Twitter at FormlessLiquid. You can also find this podcast on Buzzsprout and SoundCloud. Just type in Liquid Wisdom Podcast and boom, you're there. Catch you later.